Hello, welcome back. Last video we talked about price action. I will continue to talk about price action because it's very important. Last time we discussed how to look at the market to know if we're in an uptrend or a downtrend, or if markets are consolidating just by looking at higher highs and higher lows. And the other way around, when we see a downtrend, of course, we see lower highs and lower lows. So let's go into the horizontal lines a little more. Last time I drew a couple of them, but let's explain what I'm looking at and what you can what kind of information you can get out of them. This is the Swiss franc US dollar. I think people who are trading long enough remember this moment. Out of the blue, nobody saw it coming. The Swiss, they made some changes to their currency and the market dropped. A lot of people lost their money, a lot of brokers got into trouble as well. I am very proud to say that I made a lot of money. Why? Because of the simple basics. I had a stop loss for the longs I was carrying from all the way down here, so I got stopped out pretty aggressively, but you know, I got stopped out, so I saved my capital. I also had, for some reason, I thought that the market was turning around here, so I had some shorts ready. And I remember I had an account back then. I think it was maybe $10,000, something like that. And I woke up and I was $6,000 up. So I was looking at an account of 16K. So that was pretty nice trade. But let's get back to the basics. Let's get back to the horizontal lines. US dollar, Swiss franc. I want to draw some horizontal lines. Of course, this would have been a nice area because we see that price had bottomed out over here. I think when we go back, you can see a pretty decent move, and then tested, retested, and we moved away very strong. So this is an important level. I would advise you to ignore this strange candle because of the fundamental that caused it. Over here we can see after the correction moved in, we also saw a huge sell-off. Over here price came back, bounced. When we go back, we see that this horizontal line was a resistance over here, the support over here as well. Here, this cluster of price action, we can also see that it acted like a support zone, even though it got broken, but eventually it held. Here we see that as a resistance, and then we go too far back to okay, so that's another one. Another pretty obvious one is around here, I think. Maybe over here. Here it acted as resistance a couple of times. Price didn't go through. Here it was support. Price bounced. Here it was support again. Came back, tested it, get rejected. Came back. So this is a pretty decent line. 0.95, let's say 95 is also a round number, so of course that is important. Over here, of course, we can see a couple of times price tried to move past this level. Also, we can see here it's just below the 1.0, so it's a round number again. That's the way we look at the market, the way people think. Also, a nice level to see right now is this one, where price acted as resistance a couple of times, this line, and in the past moves as well. This is also interesting. We can also see that price got rejected here, and here we can see it's very interesting to see once you start drawing these lines. I suggest you start doing that after watching this video. Go back in time and see how often your line gets touched, because it's very interesting. Over here, the last one I'm going to draw into the weekly, and this one, of course, that's where we're at right now. It's very interesting to see how price behaves in these areas. Let's move down a little bit. On a daily, of course, the lines will still be here. As we can see, this is a zone where price came and left, so it's an important support zone. Here it acted as a resistance a couple of times. Here price also had some trouble, and here as well, to move past this level. And this one is another one. A couple of times price attacked this level, didn't go through, fell back, and this level acted as a pretty decent resistance back then. And right now we are seeing that price moved into this level. This is some strange behavior, but I think this is the end of 2016. Some strange price action, big parties who were taking profit or whatever, a big squeeze. And now we can actually see exactly at this line, price is moving back up. Which one was that? This line. So we can see here as well, price struggled around that area. Normally I'm not here to draw in as many trend lines as possible. I try to draw in the obvious ones, but for this educational video I just want to point out to you guys, here's another one as well. Support, here was support, here it was support, here it was resistance for quite some time. So here it was support. It's a very interesting line. So just to show you guys that horizontal lines they're very important. That's just the main point. Let's move on to, maybe gold could be Facebook. Facebook's maybe an interesting, different one to look at. As you can see, Facebook, very interesting. One of the most traded stocks on the Nasdaq, I think. I don't know for sure, but let's draw some lines. I think we are at a pretty obvious line right now, because price has been here, it bounced, it came back, bounced again, and now it's back at this level again. So I have to do some further analysis why this is, throw in some Fibonacci levels or something like that. But this is an important and interesting level, just like this one, for example, because price failed to break this a couple of times. Here it succeeded, took off pretty fast, and then afterwards, when it fell back, you can see here that price tried to break this a couple of times, but it's also around the 120, so that's again a round number, so interesting. Then over here we can see that around this place it was support. Over here it was support, over here it was resistance, couldn't get through. Here it came through, but we saw a correction again, and so that's an important line as well. Over here as well, what's interesting to see in Facebook is that once price reached an area where a resistance line can be drawn, afterwards we see that the same line acts as a support. That's very interesting. Over here we see that this one was a resistance, then once it broke, came back, acted as support, and we moved on. So if I trade Facebook, I think this is pretty important information. Here we see the same thing. It got tested, it didn't go through, fell back, retested it, broke through, pretty aggressive move, then it fell back. Now this, I think this was, I don't know what kind of event caused this, but was it the Brexit maybe? That was last year. I think it had something to do with disappointing data from China back then. But let's not focus on the fundamentals for now. Price came back here, it acted as support, the previous resistance, and we can see it say the same thing. Resistance got broken, retest, support. Very interesting. Another one over here acted as a support, very long. This is from, let's say, the beginning of July, and it started in June. This is a week of 14, and this is almost a year. This is very long range Facebook has traded in. So could be interesting if you want to range trade. If you want to go for the trend trades, then Facebook was not that interesting this year. But you know, I don't have to explain you. I don't have to draw in a trend line to show you guys. Well, let me just do that. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to see that this is a pretty decent up move. So let's get it away for now, because we're focusing on the horizontal lines right now. Oh, let me get in one more time. Over here we see again support. It was support, it was resistance, resistance, got rejected, came lower, retest, struggled for a bit, moved away strongly, came back, retest, now resistance and support, and we left it behind us. So I can do this all day long. I think you get my point. Let's zoom in to the daily. It's a bit choppy, if you ask me. A lot of gaps, a lot of things were going on. When we see this, we see the same lines, and we also see in more detail how price was struggling around those areas. Sometimes you get some new support and resistance levels. For example, if I look at this, I'm wondering what's going on over here. I would definitely draw a line over here, because it was resistance for quite some time, and here it got tested twice. It broke, that's true, but looking at those two spikes, I can say that this is a very important line. Where I'm hovering right now was also a 1, 2, 3, 4 times support, and price struggled a bit, but like I said, don't draw in too many lines. Nobody ever got better by a very crowded chart. So that's it for now today, guys. Try to play a little bit around with the horizontal lines. In my next video I will add some trend lines as well. Maybe a video about Fibonacci's, to give you guys more feeling of where the market is at right now. Looking at Facebook to finish this story. It was a strong up move, as you can see. We've had a huge correction right now, and right now we can see actually that for the third time price is being tested around the 115 mark. So once it breaks, we can see some more downward potential, but if this holds 1, 2, 3, I think we can see a pretty decent move back up, which with some great risk reward, if you ask me. But let's get in with that. I can talk all day, guys. So see you in my next video. Thank you. Bye.